Meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you take a second, turn off electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Here.
Seeing as there are no items listed on the agenda for discussion, we'll go to department head reports. And why don't we start with Johanna?
I would like to welcome Dan to the table, Chief Adams, to our table this week. And I also would like to congratulate, as everyone got the letter from JIF, the great work that Lisa and Dan have done with our JIF program and the amount of money that we were able to get as a result of their work. So thank you. Other than that, I have nothing.
Thank you, Johanna. Chief Adams?
Mayor, just two things. One, I handed out to you and the commissioners the 2017 Fire Department year-end report and a copy to Dawn as the business administrator, and I will forward a copy to Johanna for the record. And just a tidbit, we are, as of February 28th, 2018, we're about 26% over call volume from 2017. So our call volume is up 26% from last year.
Good job.
That's about it for now.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Dan. Lisa?
Just want to remind everyone, yes, we're going to be introducing our budget on the 15th, which it should be coming in flat. I've been working on it all this week to try to fine tune it and get it to Leon to finalize the document. But I have a separate question. Who here is familiar with, every year we get a franchise fee, a cable franchise fee, and the check ordinarily comes in January. We haven't received it. Last year, it was around $60,000. We haven't received it. Are we going to get it this year? Does anyone know? Because we always anticipate that as a revenue in our budget.
I was under the impression that Governor Christie took that away. That's,
Beginning this year?
I don't know if it's this
Because
year.
we got it last year.
I'll call our rep.
Yeah, because otherwise, I have to take $50,000 out of our anticipated revenue, so
I'll send them a text right now.
that's great. And if anyone else has any last-minute things that you need me to budget for, please get it to me. Most, in particular, if there's any grants that I haven't been made aware of that we've been awarded, I'd like to get them in the budget rather than have to, do a chapter 159 later. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Chief?
Everything's great in the police department as always. We're prepared for this upcoming storm, so I'm crossing my fingers that we don't get hit as hard as they say we're going to, but we'll see.
Dawn?
Just wanted to say we had all of the office staff and the extended police and fire department heads in for our informal breakfast and kind of chat session this morning, and it was really nice to get to be able to spend additional time with everybody and get to know everybody better and have everybody talking to each other, and hopefully that'll be one of many that will help them continue to get a nice relationship with each other in cooperative spirit. And I wanted to also just say it's been nice. We've been closing up some of those contractual gaps that, we had to follow up on a few issues and a few of the contracts and everything. So all of that is starting to come to a close now, which is good. And other than that, like you heard Lisa say, I'm just going to try and do some of the follow-up to help her condense that capital list and maybe talk us into starting that 5-year capital plan. So maybe as we pull it off the list, if we know it is something that you still want to do down the line, maybe we can start to spread it out to a 5-year list.
Great idea, and thank you. Dawn? Ed?
Okay, currently projects that are in progress, The street end drainage, Union Avenue, pipe work is in, the inlets are in, the pipe that projects out of, through the bulkhead is in place. There was a coordination meeting today with the Army Corps, at which time Dave Van Dyne from my office attended and brought to their attention how they need to connect, which they appreciated. They weren't anticipating having to do any blocking on the pipe as they pushed. So the coordination effort's good there. Dave is pretty good with that. They intend to bring a second crew on, and they will move to Thurlow Avenue unless the electric company has the pole down, which they'll jump back to Vendome. But as soon as the pole is down on Vendome, they'll do Vendome Avenue. The second crew will help tremendously. It's going smoother than they anticipated. So that's working well. We're trying to hold off on doing resident notice until we're within a few days of actual construction because they blow off the doors and people forget them. And so Dave does hand out the resident notices prior to construction starting. Because even though it's a small project at the end of the street's filled with trucks, no matter, dump trucks, trailer, materials, so the residents need to know.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't you get hold of Kelly and ask her to put that also on the website?
Okay, we can do that. The tennis court reconstruction of, I never can remember if it's 1 and 2 or 5 and 6, but the two closest to the JCC, that should commence on Monday. Contractor will move in, they have to take everything down, take the fence down to get in there, mill up, fix the trench area. Actually, I think we're relocating the conduit for the electric lights because that's what's constantly causing the problem on those two. There's a shallow conduit between the outside lights and the lights over by the building. So that has to be moved and made deeper because that's where it constantly fails. That'll start on Monday. After those tennis courts are done, they'll move over to the repairs on the basketball courts at the Union Avenue building. We had looked to try to do the repairs on the other courts under this contract. However, the cost that we received exceeds the bid threshold, so we'll have to do that as a separate bid. The rubber tie check valves will be installed as soon as they arrive from the manufacturer. I'm projecting maybe the third week in March, they should be able to get those installed. State aid from Winchester from Gladstone to Exeter. We're going to rebid that. We had requested an extension from the DOT. They asked for some additional information of which I believe has already been provided. We got the email this morning. I believe Joe was emailing them a response this afternoon. And then we'll go to bid on that sometime mid-March, and hopefully the prices will come in lower. That would be, we would have construction starting after the summer on that project. And again, I'll repeat the good news we had with Atlantic Avenue. We received another $393,000, I believe it is, on top of the $222,000 we received last year for the reconstruction of Atlantic from Fredericksburg to Frontenac. Okay.
Thank you, Ed. Roger?
Thank you, Mayor. All is well with the Planning and Zoning Department. As you're aware, we had a very interesting case last week at the planning board meeting that was going to be a fantastic project for the waterfront of Margate Avenue, or Amherst Avenue. In 30 days, 7 hours and 45 minutes and 30 seconds, I will be returning to Margate full-time.
Why so long?
How many
Well,
days?
So I'm looking forward to having one messy desk instead of two. Everything else is fine. Inspections are kicking in, and it's still going full strong.
Thank you, Roger. Jim?
Good evening. Congratulations, Chief Dan Adams. On dovetail on what Roger said about that project down in Amherst, they want to relocate a pole that's right in front of the actual building. They want to put it on the property line between the building next door and their property. Atlantic Electric already gave them the approval to put it 5 feet in off the front and the side setback. So it's been marked out. The anchor's been marked out. Do you guys have any questions, or should just move forward with it? Because they're just going to need a letter from me and Sal to go ahead and relocate it.
Does it interfere with drainage?
No. The other thing is, I talked to about 90% of the contractors, prepared our sites for tonight's storm. Hopefully they'll take care of it. And then welcome back Kelly to the mayor's office with the baby. And I can get Gina back full-time in my office, which we direly need. That's all from me.
Thank you, Jim. Frank?
We've been very busy this winter. We're already preparing for the beach for this summer. We're actually fixing the trash enclosures. We're building about 4 new lifeguard stands. We also removed all the beach steps for the stormwater project all the way down to Pembroke Avenue. And very soon we're going to be putting them back in. We were working out the ball field. We actually cleaned the whole ball field up. We put pea gravel down in areas. We are gravel in the infields, and the project's going along pretty good, and we're moving fast with it. We started replacing water meters. We've had a lot of water meters go bad over this winter and the past couple winters. So we're in the process of buying so many of them and replacing them. There's a couple hundred of them that are out there that are not registering. And the water meter system is getting old, but we are keeping up with it. We also fixed a large storm drain in the bridle path of Pembroke and Ventnor Avenue, which is the corrugated plastic pipe, and it just basically disintegrated, but we were able to fix it. We actually poured concrete over top of it, and we'll see how it holds this weekend. We are preparing for the storm. We have all our chainsaws ready, the trucks are ready to go, and you know, hopefully it won't be as bad as they're anticipating. That's all I have.
Thank you for the good job, Frank. Scott?
Okay, I have a number of things. First, attached to your packet is the resolution regarding a license for Frontenac Avenue, 17 South. There's an existing stairway there. It's apparently been there for a long time. They want to rebuild it. Is that correct, Roger?
Yes, they wanted to extend their porch out before, and I said they couldn't do that, but this is the only way they can get in their house, so they're reconfiguring the steps to go, instead of coming out towards the curb, they're gonna go down in front of their house.
And
So they needed a license, and it's actually less area than they're occupying now.
And that stairway's been there for a real long time, looks like, so.
Yep.
That's on the agenda for your consideration. I got a letter from Carmen and Joanne Bonanni, 401 North Argyle. They, as you probably know where they live, near Dog Park. There are some lots there that they are interested in purchasing. I don't know how you want to proceed with that. I mean, somebody's got to figure out if they're on the Green Acres list. Somebody's got to check and see if the title, at least good. You know, we had a problem with some of the old foreclosures were not really valid. So, or do we just have no interest in pursuing that and need some instruction from you?
Where are the lots located?
They're vacant ground right next to their house.
Right out there.
West of their house.
Yes, I think it would be west, yes.
Is that wetlands?
It sure looks like it is, it could be wetlands to me, yeah.
We have it mapped out there. There's wetlands maps out there. Some of them are old, but they're still relatively valid.
Well, yeah, I don't know what their motive is. They do say in their letter, would the city be willing to sell these lots to us? We realize there are wetlands in the area. We're interested in expanding our home. So I imagine some of the land closest to their house is probably dry, I would assume. But I didn't do anything yet. Here it is. I got this letter in. Shall we take a look at the,
I have the inventory, the Green Acres inventory.
so that's up to you guys. What do you
Okay,
want?
so why don't you get that information?
You good with that?
Yeah,
We'll
you're gonna
pursue it.
respond to them
We'll
after
re-
you understand whether it's wetlands.
So look at that. We'll look at that.
Let's,
and-
step one first.
Email me the lot, which lots they.
There's a whole bunch of them. I'll do that
And then,
tomorrow.
I can check, first I'll check the inventory to see what's Green Acres, and then we'll look at the, wetlands.
All right. Next, you'll recall at our last meeting and relevant to some of the redevelopment that's going on Amherst Avenue, we had some citizens quite concerned about the ordinance amendment, which expanded the WSD zone. I've had a number of conversations with the lawyer representing one of the condominiums. We have come up with an ordinance which would amend our recently amended ordinance. But if it saves us from litigation and makes these people happy, I would presume you'd be in favor of this. What it would do is limit redevelopment to cover only those areas that already have development. In other words,
Okay with that?
they couldn't take water area
You all right?
and have that become townhome or restaurant.
Scott,
Still allow
we're-
marina use.
Scott, we're fine with that, so why don't you get it on the agenda and we'll deal with it.
We're good? Next, okay, so I can send it off to him. We're good with that one. Okay, now, next thing, you want to talk about this public access issue, Johanna? You may or may not be aware, Longport has indicated they're having a problem getting their beach maintenance permit. Now, ours is still good. We've got a beach maintenance. But we need now, there's a requirement to supplement your master plan to have some type of a public access to the beach written program. Now, as I understand it, there are guidelines, DEP criteria. We need to start to work on that now. I believe what lays under all of it is parking. That's what Longport thinks.
Bathrooms and parking.
Bathrooms and parking. If you remember a few years back, Avalon successfully sued the state, where they tried to mandate that they would have parking and bathrooms. I think it was every quarter mile.
Half, I thought it was half a mile.
Okay, well, now it's back, and whether that's because they see a change in the regime in Trenton, I don't know, but it's gonna be a problem for us, so,
The bill was introduced by Bob Smith.
I saw it.
And,
He lives in North Jersey.
but that's not the issue Longport's facing. This issue has to do right now, it's not a proposed law, it's a law. They need to get their, we have a beach maintenance permit. Everyone, is it good for 5 years? We get them every 5. We're on number 4. So, someone suggested that maybe a lot of the communities along the shore may wanna
Get together.
and maybe fight this.
bring it to the coastal coalition.
All I know is the DEP is extremely aggressive. I mean, you see north end of Brigantine, now they're not gonna let them have permits for the trucks that they've used for years. I remember they closed off Dog Beach for a while, and then they moved the trash can across the street because they didn't want you to walk on the beach there. I mean, it just seems like we're fighting our own agency all the time. But anyhow, so here's the problem. How do you want to start to address this?
There's a meeting this week.
With who?
Dick Carter.
Well, that was called off, I
Can
think.
we turn on
but we're-
microphones, please? So we
All right. Okay, whatever. If we're gonna meet with Longport, that's great.
Can we check with other neighboring towns, Ocean City,
Ocean City
Avalon?
has one.
Do they have one? So why don't we
Yes.
get a copy of theirs and
I have one.
see how it reads?
Cape Mason.
That's just thick.
Cape City has
Right.
an approved one.
So,
It's inches thick, right?
so the idea is that
Gigantic.
I don't think we want to reinvent the wheel. If
Yeah.
somebody already has one that's approved.
The
why don't
DEP has
we-
a sample one on their website that you can
Right.
download and you can probably model it after that.
The question is, does somebody fight it again? Because it doesn't only include the beach.
It's beach block park.
It's all island.
And,
It's the
and
whole
bath-
island, it's development of a lot on the water, on the bayfront. Granting access to people to your backyard. It's the whole program with marinas should let people go out on their docks 24 hours a day. It's that same thing that came up before and was quashed. So, it's not a good
Why don't we
thing.
do this? Once again, let's get to step 1, get the information, and then we'll decide what we're gonna,
Go
how
and
we're
act
gonna go about it.
independently. We want you to be aware of it. When
Right.
you instruct us to act, we will act.
Okay.
And this is one we gotta pay attention to and do something about.
I think we all agree on that.
Right? We good? Yes? Yes, sir? Okay. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Marty?
Nothing to report, Mike.
John?
Nothing to report, just want to compliment Frank, Kaz, Chad, and the boys for the job they did. I witness it, I live there, I see it, and I love it because it really keeps our park pristine. So they did a great job.
Thank
Mayor,
you.
I'm sorry, can I just add one thing, because
No.
I'm sorry, but I have to leave. I just wanted to
I
point
should-
out that.
She didn't listen.
I don't listen. Ask my husband. But Beach badges, they're available for sale, okay, beginning in April. They could be purchased at the Bloom Pavilion 7 days a week. Beginning the week of March 12th, we will have someone in City Hall to sell beach badges. Preseason rate has not been raised in several years. Senior citizens $3.50, and the regular badges are $7, and those prices are through May 31st. So we're on board, ready to gear up, and that's it.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm also good. I just ask all our citizens, be careful. There's an impending storm coming, and let's all kind of err on the side of caution. Okay? At that point, we will open up the public comment, 3 minutes on any of the items that were discussed here at the workshop today. Is there any public comment?
Mark Cotilli, 114 North Lancaster Avenue. I understand that a lot of people are upset with the new miniature golf that we're going to have because of the parking, not enough parking or whatever. So I think maybe some things that could
We
be
didn't
suggested.
really talk about the miniature golf here
I
at this meeting.
thought I heard about parking, though. Someone mentioned beach block parking.
That's not a big deal. You'll have your chance in the next, beginning and in the
Okay.
next meeting. Okay. Any public comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeus.
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
Okay, we will reconvene in 5 minutes for a regular meeting.
They saw it, sent it in, the sampling plan. The bid specs,
Testing.
the dredging, compliance, dam statement, as well as